Nitazenes, the new fentanyl. Since roughly 2010, the United States has been in the grips of an opioid epidemic, and it's as deadly as ever. 2022, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported that over 110,000 people in the US died due to drug overdoses. Nearly 70% of those were due to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Deadly as it is, fentanyl has rapidly been joined by other opioids, referred to by some as Frankenstein opioids. They include the animal tranquilizer xylazine, aka trank dope, which causes awful skin injuries to its users. Another Frankenstein opioid are nitazenes, a class of synthetic opioids, which appear to be among the strongest synthetic opioids ever seen on the streets. I'm Jeremy Arts, and as an LMFT who was inspired by helping people escape addiction, I found myself on the front lines of the opioid crisis. I've seen how drugs like fentanyl rapidly enter drug markets and quickly become ubiquitous. Sadly, nitazenes appear to be in the same early stages of this same journey. What are nitazenes? Although they're an emerging drug in street markets, nitazenes are actually decades old. They were developed during the 50s and 60s and were intended to be sold commercially. However, the FDA never approved them, and they faded into obscurity until a few years ago when they were detected in drug markets. So, just how strong are nitazenes? Opioid strength. Morphine is one of the most well-known drugs, and it's been used as a painkiller for centuries. While it's an effective painkiller, morphine is also infamously one of the most addictive substances on the planet. In the late 1800s, scientists chemically processed heroin from morphine, which also increased its potency. Heroin is around 50 times as potent as morphine. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin, and 100 times as strong as morphine. Most fentanyl consumed on the street is made in clandestine labs, smuggled into our country. A few years ago, another synthetic opioid entered the market. Carfentanil is a synthetic opioid used by veterinarians to treat large animals like rhinos and elephants. The DEA reported that carfentanil is 100 times stronger than fentanyl and 10,000 times as strong as morphine. So, where does that leave nitazenes? Unfortunately, this is a tough question to answer. There's not a lot of information about nitazenes, and they've never gone through clinical trials. Said in a recent CBS News report that some nitazenes could potentially be more dangerous than carfentanil. Are nitazenes the new fentanyl? News reports I've read have left me concerned. Like fentanyl, nitazenes appear to be popping up in certain drug markets. In Colorado, CBS News reports they're believed to be responsible for at least 13 deaths in that state since 2021. They're likely to climb nationwide too. It's never been safe to abuse street drugs like heroin. It's even more dangerous now. There are so many adulterants out there that it's hard to say what anyone's using at any given time. Nitazene's presence in the streets really reminds me of the patterns around fentanyl and makes me worried for the future. However, there's one area that's hopeful. Opioid addiction is treatable at the Edge Treatment Center. I've seen many people completely turn their lives around from opioid addiction. With the right help, anyone can. It's possible to get through opioid withdrawals and build a life without opioid addiction. This is an area where you do not want to wait for rock bottom. Nitazenes, carfentanil, they all make opioid abuse so deadly. There's no guarantee you'll ever get that far. If you're struggling with opioid addiction, please take action now and call the Edge Treatment Center at 844-590-0403 to learn more. Thanks for watching our video. Have you had an experience with nitazenes? Share them in the comments and tap those like and subscribe buttons too. See you next video.